Hello, welcome back. Today in Need for Speed Unbound, we are going to be looking at the Ford Crown Victoria in A-Class and A+. We'll see if it's better in one or the other, or if it's still garbage no matter what you do with it. Anyway, here is the build. So the cool thing with this build is you do not need to swap out the engine. You are sticking with the 6.6 liter V8 engine, which is the stock engine if I remember correctly. For the parts, you are using super induction. We are using the basic ECU with the Pro fuel system, the Pro exhaust, and the Pro Roots supercharger. With Sport nitrous, Elite road suspension, the Sport brakes, the Elite grip tires, the Elite clutch, the Sport 4-speed gearbox, and the Elite differential. And as you can see up at the top, I have $385, so I can't have both auxiliaries right now, but I have super nitrous drift on right now. After a race, I will be able to add the other one in. For the handling, we have 60% grip with steering sensitivity all the way up, downforce in the middle, traction control is off, and I have drift entry set to brake tap. That will give us a top speed of 166 miles per hour, a 0 to 60 of 4.5, and a quarter mile of 12.8. So let's go hop into a race and see if this thing's as bad as it usually is. Okay, so here we are on the drop against an underpowered Fairlady Z. I still don't have high hopes for this car. I've never seen anybody win with it. But I wanted to build it, especially in A+, because A+, there are the challenges to unlock the body kit. Even though if you get the game in the single player, or the car in the single player, you get that body kit. Anyway, here we go. It's not horrendous off of the line, so that's good to know. And let's see how we are at cornering here. This is just cornering without trying to drift, and that worked out beautiful. So not too bad right there, but it is a slow car, so I wouldn't expect it to do much. I feel like this car will probably be better in straight-on races versus windy, curvy races. Just a feeling I have. So I'm just trying to throw in a mix of using cornering without drifting and drifting the corners as well. I think on more straightaways is where this car will come alive versus, like I said earlier, in the corners. It's just a guess I have, but we will see how it decides to perform the rest of the way. That was a little bit of an understeer in that corner, but I also didn't prepare properly for it because I wasn't 100% paying attention to what was coming up or where I was going or what I was doing, so that was also on me and not just the car. Alright, here comes the first jump, but I didn't have enough NOS to do anything apparently because it wouldn't let me. So here we go, we're on a straight and we're getting some air, and that is helping because that top speed. Wow, that was a bit of a bounce there at the end. So not too bad. Not the best, not the worst. But down that last stretch is where the car really came alive on that straightaway. So again, I still think the races that are more straight are where this car will work best. Okay. And here we are with a more speed-oriented race. Oh, and he switched to an Eclipse. I didn't catch to see if it was powered properly or if it's underpowered, so I guess I'm about to find out. And we're off. And off the line, I have the lead against an Eclipse, so I'm going to assume it is an underpowered Eclipse and not built up as much as it can or should be to compete in these races, because the Eclipse is kind of an all-around car. It'll work in pretty much any class you put it in, except maybe B class. And I only say maybe because I haven't tried it in B or really seen it in B very much. But, oh, I clipped it on accident. That's just great. I'm going to lose to an underpowered Eclipse now. because the acceleration on this is not the best. Come on. I was hoping to split them without touching them and get the boost. That did not happen. Wrecking is the worst. Come on, I can catch him before the end, right? Right? Maybe? This is one of those races where if you wreck, you're kind of SOL'd. Oh, I can see the guy. I just can't catch him. Oh, and I'm going to miss the checkpoint, I think. Oh, or hit traffic. Yeah, like I said, he was going to win that as soon as I wrecked. There was no chance of me coming back on that. But I only finished 2 seconds behind him, and I wrecked, so... Alright, and the final race of the series. Can I hold on and win, or will I wreck and lose? Let's find out. In way too much time. Man, I wish that the game didn't do that. I know it's a load screen, but it just bugs me that it takes so long to get the race actually going once you're in, and you can't skip it or anything. So a pretty decent drift through there. It's up to you if you really want to cut that corner or not. And then I always prefer using this part of the race versus the other one. I don't know why, I just feel like this is the faster route than going through the other route. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe they're the same, maybe the other one's faster, but it's the one I always take and I've had the best luck with. Alright, so far it's not handling too poorly through this race. It's just not getting up to the top speed I would want because there are a lot of corners in it. And then I, went off-road, so that doesn't help either. For some reason, I always expect there to be a checkpoint right there. I think it's because in one of the other races there is, but this one doesn't have that checkpoint. And, oh yeah, I forgot this is a 3-lap race, not a 2-lap race. Ooh, I almost collided with that there wall. See, once I have to slow down, the other person starts to catch up with me. But if it's a straight, I'm pulling away because this does have a decent top speed for A+, and it has a good amount of torque and horsepower behind it as well. If I remember correctly. Oh, and then the van wanted more. How nice of it. I dislike it when the game just decides it's going to just randomly throw traffic in your way, even though it usually doesn't or it hadn't before. I had to handbrake that a little bit. That was my bad. I boosted after trying to drift and it messed it up. So that was my poor driving decision. Alright. Won the series against what I'm pretty sure is an underpowered Eclipse. This car in A-Class, probably not worth it unless you're doing a long straight race and you can race it without wrecking. Otherwise, I don't think it's worth it for A-Class, but it was worth checking out. So now we are going to go hop over to the A+ build and see how that performs. Okay, so here we are with the A+ build of the Crown Vic. We still stick with the 6.6 liter V8 engine, which is nice because, again, you don't have to switch out and spend a whole bunch of money on a new engine. For the parts, we have the Pro induction, the Super ECU, the Pro fuel system, the Sport exhaust, the Super Screw Roots supercharger, with the Sport nitrous, the Elite road suspension, the Super brakes with this one, the Elite grip tires, the Elite clutch. We are sticking with the Sport 4-speed gearbox, and the Elite Differential, and of course Super Nitrous Drift and Grip. For the handling, we are set to 30% grip with steering sensitivity and downforce as high as they'll go, traction control off, and drift entry set to brake tap. This will give us a top speed of 183 miles per hour, which isn't too bad for an A+ car. Just don't use it in races where top speed is the name of the game. So send it or whip it. And then I think there's one more. But other than that, for corners, it's not too bad. For 0 to 60, we have 3.8 seconds and a quarter mile of 11.8. We have a pretty good amount of torque coming out of the engine too at 838. So one thing to remember with the A+ build is that it will work towards the challenge of unlocking the special body kit, but you have to win 10 races to do that. So let's go see if we can win even one in this build. Okay, so here we are going up against ASAP Rocky's 190E. I have no idea how this is going to play out. I will not be surprised if I lose because the Crown Vic is just not a good car. It seems like all the cars they gave special body kits to just weren't good cars. They're like, here, what's the worst car we could put this special challenge with to just frustrate the hell out of people? Wow, he got a little sideways there, like a lot. And if this was a drift event, that would have been really good for him. Not that, you know, they have drift events here in this game. Just those silly little things they call drift events, which we all know are just a waste. So far, it's not doing too bad. That 190 is certainly keeping up with me, though. I overdrifted that on accident. That was my fault, because I thought I had the burst NOS to straighten out, and I didn't. I only had regular NOS, which pushed me further into my drift than I meant to go. Okay, so we're starting to pull away from the 190E, which, if I remember correctly, is the same class level as this. It's just the 190E isn't really that great of a car to begin with. Hey, and I got a daily challenge done without even trying. Go me. It doesn't handle too bad. I just wish the acceleration was better. As far as the car goes, once it gets into the higher speeds, it really seems to want to pull through them. It's just a matter of getting to those higher speeds, it seems. But once you get up to like the 130 range, it really feels like it wants to start just accelerating like crazy. I mean, honestly, this car is performing better than I had expected it to. So that's... oh god, I screwed that up. That was my fault. I hit a little jump and was just bursting through it, and it made me lose control a little. So that was my bad. But really, it performed better than I expected. I wish it was I was going up against something other than a 190E, but there's not a lot I can do about that. So I'm not real sure why I chose mint green for this car. I downloaded somebody's livery and then it was gray, and I was like, nah, I have enough neutral color cars. Let's do a green car, and for some reason I chose mint green. I don't know. Alright, this is... oh shoot, I've horked up the launch because I was too busy thinking and talking. Well, let's see if we can catch up now. Alright, so this is actually a course I like a lot, and I don't like a lot of lap courses, but this one I do like. I don't know why I like it as much as I do, but I do. Alright, he's not super far ahead. It appears I'm catching up a little bit, and this straight will definitely help with that. Alright, so there we go with that. Well, that was fun. I don't know how neither one of us got wrecked out there, but... oh, I should have been dead. I wasn't, but I should have. I don't know what just happened to him, but he just went crazy. Okay. Now that we're in the lead, can we maintain said lead? Nope. It's about what I expect with this car, in all honesty. That is a slidey boy, is what that is. I think he's trying to work on getting his burst, but I could be wrong. Well, I think I might have gotten this one in the bag somehow, which isn't too bad considering I had to fight back from a messed up launch, and he did overtake me in one of the corners, so I still beat him by 5 seconds. Did they wreck? I mean, we were pretty close there at the end. They must have wrecked. That car is pretty stinking good in most of the classes you can put it into. So let's see how my car performs against that car. Again, I am not expecting much. Alright, that time I stopped talking to get the launch. I didn't want to screw it up, especially against the Fox body, because if I mess it up, I will have zero chance at all of coming back. And there goes the Fox body, as I expected would happen. Yeah, that thing is just a rocket. I mean, there's no denying that the Fox body is an amazing car in this game. So I don't suspect I will win this race, but I got the series anyway. And let's be honest, that's the important part, because getting the series will also get me the win towards that body kit, which, to be honest, I already have the body kit for this car. But it's because I unlocked it in single player. I don't have it unlocked in multiplayer, so any other Crown Vics I would buy, not that I would ever buy another one, would not have the body kit. And I'm actually catching... What is up with this person, man? They, like, just weave in and out on everything. That was accidental weaving on my part. And until I did that, I was really starting to get some ground and catch up. The only thing I can figure is they're trying to get their burst NOS up by doing that, but they're just... I would think they're losing too much speed. But it's not going to matter. They're going to win this race. That much is obvious to me. Unless they wreck. And they did something bad there, because I'm all of a sudden catching up. And I wrecked because I couldn't turn. So there goes the race for me. I accidentally bounced into them, and then I went flying into oncoming traffic. So yeah, that's going to do it for this car in this race. I don't know too many cars that would be able to come back at this point versus that other car. It was a wide turn. So it does want to understeer, which doesn't surprise me. I still don't get this car in this game at all. Again, I don't understand why they made the ones with the special body kits so stinking bad. You can't grip any of them up, really. The only one that was good was the Countach. That was a good car, especially in S-Class. I do really like the Countach, but outside of that, the rest of them were just basically hot garbage. Because there's this, there's... what is it? It's like a Land Rover or something. And then there is the Sylvia, which I was like, oh, cool, Sylvia, but it's so slidey that you can't really race it. And then I don't remember the other one. Anyway, that's going to do it for me today. I don't recommend the A build for this car. The A plus build, if you want to unlock the body kit, I think this one can do it for you. It's just going to matter if you're wrecking or not, because from a dead stop, the acceleration sucks. But from the launch, if you get it at the beginning of the race, it's pretty good. And like I said, when it gets into about 130, it feels like it actually really starts to climb through the speed. So yeah, that's this build for this car. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, leave some comments down below, smash the like button, and I will catch you in the next one.